Hello everyone and welcome to Medford Anywhere Learning TV. We're glad you're tuned in. We want to give a shout out to our friends at Southern Oregon PBS, KTVL, KDRV, and the Dove Network. Thank you for hosting us on your station. In the Medford School District, we have one shared vision, and that we believe that all are learning, and learning is for all. And what better place to do that than right here on Medford Anywhere Learning TV.
Hi, I'm Kristen Robinson and I teach kindergarten at Kennedy Elementary here in Medford, Oregon. And today we are going to be focusing on the learning target. I can ask and answer questions like who, what, where, and when to demonstrate understanding of key details in a text. This standard is actually very functional for kindergarten through second grade, and it's a super lesson for our early learners as well. So today we are talking about unicorns, unicorn horn, unicorn poster, unicorn book, and remember, unicorn starts with the letter U. We love the letter U. This is a baby U or a lowercase u, so if you're at home, practice writing those letters. U is for unicorn. Today we are going to read one of my favorite books because it is a book all about being you. This book is Selma the Unicorn. It is written by Erin Blabby. So let's get started on our tale, and while I'm reading, pay close attention to who, what, when, where, and think about the big why in this book. Selma felt a little sad. In fact, she felt forlorn. You see, she wished with all her heart to be a unicorn. I hear a rhyme. Her best friend's name was Otis. He liked her quite a lot. He said, "You're perfect as you are." But Thelma said, "I'm not." She looks quite sad. And that was when she saw it, a carrot on the ground. It gave her such a great idea. She squealed and jumped around. She took that simple carrot and she tied it to her nose. I'll say that I'm a unicorn. It might just work. Who knows? Ooh, so she asked a question. There's a question mark at the end of that sentence. Well, as she did, a truck drove by. The driver rubbed his eyes. "Good grief, is that a unicorn?" he shrieked in great surprise. It looks like things are falling out of the truck. As Selma watched the swerving truck, it very nearly hit her. Would you believe that the truck was filled with nice pink paint and glitter? I think those are unicorn colors. Oh, Selma looked amazing. She was a unicorn. "I'm special now," she cried out loud. Since she looked beautiful, and so a star was born. All across the world, the whole world, her fans would cheer her name. Selma loved it. Every bit the fame, the fame, the fame. Do you see all of the people taking her pictures, and they have signs that say, "OMG, I love you." And then there's other signs that say, "I love you, Selma." And she put her hoof prints in the cement with her name. Selma was a superstar. Her dreams had all come true. She's on a ship called the Fairy Princess. But soon, she found that so much fame was kind of tricky, too. You see, her fans were mad for her, which means they were super excited. They'd scream, and they'd cry, and they'd laugh. They'd chase her everywhere she went just to get her autograph. In fact, they chased her all day long. It never, ever stopped. Do you think her fans are knocking on her door and we can see they're looking at her her windows or looking through her windows. They chased her while she exercised. They chased her while she shopped. "Please don't chase me anymore," she asked the screaming crowd. "We'll chase you all we want," they said. "We're fans, so it's allowed." Ooh, do you think that's a good choice or not a good choice? And some were not her fans at all. No, they were really mean. She has her shirt on that says roller skate for charity. And look, people are being unkind. And some just did the meanest thing she'd ever seen. Her sign says, "I don't like unicorns." And hers says, "I agree." Poor Selma. So one dark night, she felt quite sad. This famous little pony, she said, "I thought I'd feel great. But all I feel is lonely." Do you think she's missing her friend Otis? And so with that, she changed her mind. This lovely unicorn, she cleaned off her sparkles and she ditched her magic horn. And then she walked right past the crowd. They didn't even notice. She thought how nice that it would be. It says, "Marry me, Selma, and help me be a unicorn." So remember, she thought to herself how nice it would be to see her lovely Otis. And when he asked her about her trip beneath their favorite tree, she simply said, "Oh, it was fun." This is my favorite part, but I'd rather just be me. I love this book because it reminds us that the most important part of our life is being ourselves, no matter where we are and who we're with. We are always perfect when we're true to ourselves. Now we're going to do the comprehension part that goes with Selma the Unicorn. So I have my chart with Selma's horn and her eyelashes and a rainbow, because we know unicorns love rainbows. And we're going to talk about the main character. The main character was Selma, so we're going to pop her right up here. We need to put our big giant thinker hats on now, and we're going to start thinking about the setting. Remember, the setting of a book is where it happens. So this book actually took place in 2 different places, so think really hard. It happened in a field where Selma lived, but then it happened in the city as well. We are going to put our setting as a farm and the city. So we'll pop it, let's see, right over here on this cloud. Now, think really hard. What was the first thing that happened to Selma? She was in the field. She was with her friend Otis. She wished she could be a unicorn, and then she found something. So she wished she could be a unicorn. So we have our main character being Selma. We have our setting, which is the farm and the city. And the very first thing that happened in the book was that she wished she could be a unicorn. So now we're going to think really hard about what happened second. She found something. Do you remember what she found? If you said a carrot, you are right. What did she do with that carrot? She put it on her head. All right, second thing, she put that carrot on her head. Did that make her a unicorn? Or did something else happen? Let's see, she was standing in the field, the carrot was on her head, Otis was watching, and then next, a paint truck went by. And that paint truck had what? Pink paint and silver glitter. The truck swerved, and the paint and the glitter went everywhere, and suddenly Selma was a unicorn. So next, Selma was a unicorn because she had paint and glitter all over her. Then the big thing happened. The thing that she really wanted, she became a famous unicorn. So our next little cloud we're going to put up is Selma became a famous unicorn. Let's pop it over here by Selma's cute little ear. So just to review, we're talking about the way the story flowed or the way the events happened in the story. So we know that she has a carrot on her head, she turned pink, and she has a silver horn from that truck going by. And then what happened? She started missing her friend Otis, who loved her just the way she was. So we're going to pop that up here next. Then she missed her best friend Otis. She was feeling pretty sad, wasn't she? Do you remember what happened after she started thinking about Otis? She saw his picture, and then she did something in her house. What did she do? Oh, that's right. She washed the paint and the glitter off, and she became who again? Selma the pony. So she washed off the paint and glitter, and she returned to her friend Otis. So we're going to pop this up right in the center of Thelma. And now the big why. Remember, when we're reading, we want to be questioning. We want to be thinking, why is this happening? What was Thelma thinking? And what did she feel at the end of the book? The big why for Thelma was that she found that being herself was better than being something else. I love this. We're going to pop that right up here because that is the big why. So let's do a quick review before we move on to the next part of our lesson. The big why was that Thelma found that being herself was better than being anything else. Our main character was Thelma. The setting was a farm and the city, because we know she was around a lot of other people and in her house. Second, she found a carrot and she put it on her head. Then the glitter truck drove by, swerved, and spilled paint all over her and glitter on that corny carrot on her head. And then she became a famous unicorn. Then she started missing her friend Otis so much. And finally, she washed the paint off of her body and the glitter off of her horn, and she went back to where she lived with Otis. Such a great story. Let's talk about how you can amp this up one more level. We all love writing in school. It's one of Mrs. Robinson's favorite things to do. So if you have time and a piece of paper and a pencil, take it out. And you can either write the sentence, or you could have a parent write it and you trace the letters, or you could just answer this question. Here's my question. I want you to write, I love unicorns because unicorns are, you get to fill in the blank. It's whatever you want to put. Now, if you don't really love unicorns, you could change this and say, I'm not sure I love unicorns because, this is for you to do. Use your imagination. Let it go wild and put down whatever you feel you want to put. As a bonus to the lesson is the craftivity part. This is always my favorite part of learning because it takes all of those thoughts in your head, it marries them with what we've learned in our book, and we get to make a craft. Remember I told you in our last lesson to save your toilet paper rolls? Well, another toilet paper roll project. I love toilet paper roll projects because they stand up on their own. And you could have a virtual city of characters. So to do this, take your toilet paper roll and you could paint it with white paint, or if you don't have a toilet paper roll handy, you could just cut a strip of paper and roll it and tape it so it's a cylinder. We love talking about cylinders. After your paint's dried or you have your paper prepared, you're going to start putting a little face on your unicorn. You can see I took a black pen and I just drew her little eyes with little eyelashes. And then if you have paint that's handy, you could always use a pink paint. And now this is my favorite part. When you're making polka dots, you can use a pencil or the back of your paintbrush. If you use a pencil, use the eraser, dip it in your paint, and make polka dot cheeks on your unicorn. Because we're in the let everything dry phase, you can add your glitter at this part too. Lots of colors to choose for. You could even use my magic unicorn glitter glue. Put it on the bottom, just a teeny bit, or you could put it on the top. This is your creative craft, so you get to do whatever you want to do on your unicorn. Set her aside so she dries, and then you're going to come back and make her horn and her ears. The horn is just a cut piece of paper that I painted with gold paint. If you don't have gold paint, you could use a marker. You don't have to use yellow because this is your craft. You can use any color you want. Let this dry if you're using paint. And then we're going to make a mane for our unicorn and a tail. If you don't have yarn handy, some other ideas would be to take strips of paper and glue them to the back of your toilet paper roll or the top. I had some really colorful yarn, so I just simply wrapped it around 3 fingers and tied a little knot at the top, like so. And when you do this, make sure it's tied pretty tight. And then you're going to trim it. Kids, if you're doing this, make sure you're using kid-safe scissors. If not, have an adult help you. I like to turn the yarn over and I just start cutting. And this should not be even. So trim it away a little bit because remember, horsehair, unicorn hair is usually not all the same length unless they got a haircut. With a little bit of glue, you can glue your tail on. You're going to use the same method for your mane, and it glues on the top and flops over. You could definitely give her a haircut then if you needed to. And then finally, after you have your hair on, it's time for the ears. And I don't like to put my ears on until her mane is on because that's going to tell me exactly where I want to place them. I just cut those out of a piece of white paper. We'll move some of our yarn away so you can see exactly how I did this. And all I did was take a piece of paper, it's white piece of paper, cut it in half. If you have a colored piece of paper or printed, you could definitely use that. I just started cutting a nice little leaf shape in this with a pair of scissors. And if you wanted to, you could draw it first. I kind of like this to be creative and cut it out. Once it's out of the paper, you're going to open this up and then you're going to cut on the fold. It's sticky. There we go. You cut on the fold and voila, you have 2 little unicorn ears. Go ahead and color the inside of those, or if you wanted to put polka dots on them or stripes, you could do that as well. Once you have your ears cut out, I glued mine on the outside. You can see how I glued it right here. That way, if I needed to trim her hair a little bit more, I could. If you need to secure anything, it's always handy to use a little piece of tape underneath as well. So that is our lesson for Selma the Unicorn. Lots of opportunities for learning, lots of opportunities for creativity and taking those two and having them come together. I hope that you have enjoyed our lesson, and thank you so much for joining us on Medford Anywhere Learning TV.
Hi, I'm Katie Cutsforth. I'm from Jacksonville Elementary. I teach kindergarten. Last time we were together, I shared with you that you're going to be able to recognize and name all uppercase and lowercase letters of the alphabet. It's okay to say capital too. Sometimes I say both. I shared with you last time that all the letters make a sound. Some sounds are quick. Some sounds are continuous. That means that no matter how long you make the sound, it stays the same. You might run out of breath first, though. So for example, the letter T has a quick sound, and the sound is T. But the letter Z has a continuous sound. The sound is Zzz. See, I ran out of breath. Now that I've shown you the cards that have the letters on them, I want to show you a different way that you can learn the letters of the alphabet. I love sign language. I'm not an expert, but I'm an expert at fun. And sign language is really fun. It gets your right brain and your left brain doing this, and the whole time you won't even know it, but you're having fun already. I'm going to show you the letters with my left hand so that you can mirror with your right hand. The first letter we know is A. You're going to make a fist so your thumb is sticking out. When you bring this letter A to your chin, then you can say the sound, ah. For the letter B, you hold your fingers together and bring your thumb across. The sound is B. For the letter C, you just make the shape of the letter C, then bring it to your chin for the sound and say K. The letter D can be kind of tricky. So you show the number 1, and with your fingers that are left over, you make a circle like this. This letter is D, and the sound, D. The letter E, you're going to stretch your finger muscles, squish your fingers as flat as you can, and this letter is E. The sound is eh. You kind of frown a little bit when you say the sound. The next letter, you're just going to pretend you're holding something in your fingers like this. This letter is F, and the sound is really quiet. The sound is F. The letter G, take the number 1, turn it sideways like this. The letter G, the sound is G. The letter H is almost the same. You just bring another finger out like this, H, and the sound is the letter I is just your pinky. The letter I, the sound is, I kind of like when you say that sound because it makes you smile automatically. See, we're having fun already. So keep your I in place. Then you write the letter J in the air. This letter is J. The sound, J. I like the letter K because it's the boss of my name, my Katie name. For the letter K, take the number 2 and put your thumb in the middle. This letter is K. And the sound, K. The letter L is the number 1 and your thumb. Look at that. It looks just like the letter L. And the sound, your tongue's going to stick out a little bit. The sound is O. Now next is the letter M. What's cool about the letter M is it's exactly in the middle of the alphabet, so we're halfway there. You got to stretch your thumb all the way over to your pinky and stick it right in there, then cover your thumb with your other fingers. So there's 1, 2, 3 fingers covering your thumb. The letter M, and the sound is mmm. I always think of eating something when I say the sound mmm. Now the letter N is almost the same. It's just 2 fingers. The letter N and the sound, you're going to wrinkle your nose a little bit. Mmm. Make sure your lips are open so you're not accidentally saying mmm. So after the letter N is the letter O. And I love the letter O because you can't ever make it backward or even upside down. When you take all your fingers together and make a circle, you've also made the letter O. And the sound is ah. Your mouth almost looks like the letter O when you say the sound ah. Now the letter P is a little bit tricky. Remember that letter K? That's the boss of my Katie name. If you take your letter K and give it a flip, it makes the letter P. And the sound for the letter P, pa. Now the letter Q, I kind of like to pretend that I'm holding a quarter in my fingers. So it's not very far apart. And then you give your hand a little flip like this. This letter is Q. And the sound for Q, remember, is kind of cuckoo. The sound is coo. Now the letter R, maybe you've crossed your fingers before when you've been keeping a secret or when you know something really exciting and you cross your fingers like this because you really hope for something. That's also the letter R. And bring to your chin now for the sound. R. I like that one because your tongue kind of curls in the back a little bit when you say that sound. R. Now the letter S looks so much like the letter A, but you're going to bring your thumb to the front like this, S. And the sound is sh. The letter T. Now, if you remember, the letter M was 3 fingers over your thumb. And the letter N, when your nose got wrinkly, was only 2 fingers over your thumb. Now the letter T, it's only 1 finger over your thumb. T. And the sound is T. Now the letter U is kind of like the number 2, but stick your fingers together. No space in between. This letter is U. The sound is kind of funny to me. The sound is I like to say it like that. Now after the letter U is the letter V. And it looks just like a U, but open. And if you look carefully, it totally looks like the letter V. And the sound is Now, wait till you see the letter W. It's just like U and V, but 1 more finger, 3 fingers, but look carefully. It totally looks like the letter W. Now, the sound makes me say, woohoo! The sound for W is woo. Now, the letter X is just 1 finger and crooked over like this. X, and the sound is X. I always think of a box and a fox, but I'll show you in a minute what we're going to know for the letter X. Now, after the letter X, you're going to stretch the muscles of your thumb and your pinky, but put all your other fingers away. This letter is Y. The sound makes me say yeehaw. The sound for Y is yee. Now Z, that's kind of a funny one. You just write the letter Z in the air, but the sound, you can still tap your chin with your writing finger. The sound is Z. Now that I've shown you how to make all the letters in sign language, there's a song that goes with it. I always like to start songs with 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3. A, alligator. B, bear. C, cat. D, dog. Tap your leg for dog. E, elephant. F, fox. G, goat. H, happy. I, insect. J, jump. K, kangaroo. L, lion. M, monkey. N, nose. O, octopus. P, piano. Q, queen. R, rainbow. S, sunshine. T, turtle. U, umbrella. V, volcano. W, wonderful world. X, X-ray. Y, yo-yo. Z, zebra. I think you are wonderful. I hope you have a lot of fun learning something new. And if you know those sign language letters already, make sure that you teach them to someone else in your family. Have fun.
Thanks for tuning in to Medford Anywhere Learning TV. Medford School District is a place where all are learning, and learning is for all.
Connect online at YouTube Medford School District 549C, Instagram at Medford School District, and Facebook at Medford School District 549C.
My name is Stella, and I'm in 5th grade.
Tell me about the school board. What do you know about a school board and what a school board does?
I think it makes like big decisions for the school, and do you decide field trips?
It is the people that decide like stuff about the school, like they're the people that decide all the school rules and stuff like that.
What do you think about that? I mean, it sounds kind of like a big job.
Yeah, it is a pretty big job. I've seen like what they do, and it's pretty cool.
They volunteer, so they don't really get paid. It's kind of shocking that they don't get paid, but like it's good that they're volunteering, you know.
They do some work for us, and like for the students, I guess.
I think that that's really nice of them, especially since I just think it's really nice because a lot of people don't take the time to do that in their day, and a lot of people don't care that much about other people.
I like how they all like make a decision by listening to each other's ideas and correcting each other's ideas.
Keep doing that if you want like the world to be a good place, and maybe that might encourage some kids when they grow up to be a teacher too.
Thank you for the amazing ideas and rules you've come up with, and I hope that you guys keep on having fun with your job and make very good decisions.
Gracias, Medford School Board.